Welcome to the Echo Lab, the place where music's best-kept secrets come to light. In every episode, we uncover the overlooked legends, the underground classics, and the hidden influences that shape the soundtrack of generations. From cult bands and iconic session players to the untold stories behind timeless tracks. If you're a fan of deep cuts and deep dives, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you never miss a beat. Let's get into the story behind the sound. Kurt Cobain, the grunge prophet. He was the voice of a generation. Kurt Cobain, a skinny kid from a nowhere town, screaming his pain into a microphone. Nirvana shook the world, tore down the 80s, gave us grunge. Smells Like Teen Spirit was a battle cry, a middle finger to the polished pop machine. But behind the fame, Kurt was breaking, a man who wanted to be real. In a world that wanted him to be a god. This is Kurt's story. Raw, jagged, unforgettable. Aberdeen, Washington, 1967. A logging town, gray and grim. Kurt Donald Cobain was born February 20th to Don and Wendy, a working-class couple. Music was everywhere. Wendy sang. Don played guitar. Kurt was a happy kid, hyper, drawing superheroes, singing Beatles tunes. He was always humming, always creating, Wendy said. But at 9, his world cracked. His parents divorced, a wound that never healed. I was ashamed of my family, Kurt wrote in his journal. He bounced between homes, angry, lost. Aberdeen felt like a cage, small, judgmental, dead end. Music saved him. By 12, he was strumming a cheap guitar, a gift from his uncle. He loved the Beatles, but punk rock it harder, Black Flag, the Melvins, raw and real. Punk taught me I could be myself, he said. He drew, painted, wrote poems. Art was his escape. By high school, he was a misfit, skipping classes, smoking weed, tagging walls. I felt like an alien, he wrote. He dropped out, lived in friends' cars, under bridges. Music was his lifeline, his truth. Kurt's insecurities ran deep. He was small, shy, with piercing blue eyes and stringy hair. He felt ugly, unworthy. I'm too sensitive for this world, he journaled. Chronic stomach pain, undiagnosed, burning made it worse. He tried heroin, said it dulled the ache. He doubted his talent, his voice nasal, raw, not trained. But his songs were his heart, angry, sad, honest. He scribbled lyrics on notebooks, walls, anything. They were stories of pain, alienation, hope. In 1985, Kurt met Chris Novoselic, a tall, quiet bassist. They bonded over punk, formed a band. Drummers came and went. Chad Channing stuck for a while. They called themselves Nirvana, a nod to freedom, escape. By 1988, they were gigging in Seattle, a grunge scene bubbling with Soundgarden mudhoney. Kurt's voice was raw, his guitar gritty, simple chords, heavy distortion. Songs like About a Girl were melodic, but rough. I just want to write something real, he told Chris. They cut bleach in 1989 with Sub Pop for $600. It was lo-fi, heavy, a cult hit. College radio loved it. Kurt was 22, hungry, but scared of what was coming. His breakthrough hit in 1991. Nirvana signed with Geffen, added Dave Grohl on drums, a powerhouse from D.C.'s punk scene. They recorded Nevermind in Los Angeles, aiming for raw but getting polished. Smells Like Teen Spirit was a fluke. Kurt said, just a riff he messed with. But when it dropped, it was a bomb. The video hit MTV. Kids went wild. The album sold 30 million worldwide, knocked Michael Jackson off the charts. It was like our generation's Beatles. Dave said, Nirvana was huge, arenas, covers of Rolling Stone. Kurt was a star's flannel and Converse iconic. But he hated it. I'm not a rock star, he told friends. Fame felt like a lie. Kurt saw himself as an artist, not an idol. He wanted to stay punk, stay true. His guitar was his voice. Fender Mustang Jagstang, played left-handed, chords simple but searing. His songs were raw, melodies sweet, lyrics dark. Come As You Are, Lithium, they were pain wrapped in hooks. He drew from the Beatles' melodies, Black Flag's rage, Pixies' dynamics. I'm stealing from everyone, but it's mine, he laughed. Fans saw a prophet, a rebel. He saw a kid from Aberdeen, out of place. The fame was crushing. Kurt married Courtney Love in 1992, a whirlwind romance. Their daughter, Frances, was born that year. She's my reason to keep going, he said. But heroin took hold, his stomach pain a constant fire. He was shy, hated interviews, hid behind sarcasm. People want me to be their savior, he wrote. But I'm drowning. Nirvana was on top, but cracks were forming. Kurt wanted to go quieter, more acoustic. Dave pushed for heavier, punkier sounds. They fought, made up, kept going, but the storm was brewing. By 1992, Nirvana was the biggest band in the world. Nevermind ruled the charts. Arenas sold out. Kurt Cobain, 25, was grunge's reluctant king. Smells Like Teen Spirit was everywhere, MTV, radio, kid stereos. We're the voice of the lost, Chris Novoselic said. But behind the roar, Nirvana was fraying. Kurt wanted to shift gears, soft, raw, real. Dave Grohl was pulling harder, louder. The band was a powder keg, ready to blow. We were gods on stage, ghosts off it, Dave later said. This is where Nirvana burned brightest and started to break. Their peak was electric. In 1993, they recorded in utero with Steve Albini, chasing a raw sound. Kurt wanted it ugly, honest, less Nevermind polish. Songs like Heart-Shaped Box and All Apologies were dark, beautiful, raw. I'm trying to say what to my head, Kurt told Rolling Stone. The album hit #1, sold 15 million. Critics called it a masterpiece. MTV Unplugged that year was haunting. Kurt's voice cracked on Where Did You Sleep Last Night, a lead belly cover that broke hearts. He sang like he was bleeding, Courtney said. Fans worshipped him, packed stadiums. Nirvana was grunge. Grunge was Nirvana. Kurt's guitar style was chaos and heart. His Fender Mustang scream, distorted but melodic. He didn't shred, simple chords, heavy feedback, raw energy. His voice was his weapon, raspy, aching alive. He wrote fast, lyrics on napkins and journals. Rape Me was a gut punch. Penny Royalty, a confession. He pulled from Vaseline's lo-fi, REM's. Jangle, sonic use noise. I'm just a thief who makes it better, he joked. His songs were diaries, pain, love, truth. But the cracks were wide. Nirvana looked unstoppable, but Kurt was crumbling. I hate myself and want to die, he wrote, half joking, in his journal. Heroin was his crutch. Stomach pain. Fame's weight. Too much. Courtney begged him to stop for Frances. He tried rehab, walked out. Dave and Chris saw it, felt helpless. Kurt was our heart, and it was breaking, Dave said. Kurt wanted to go softer, acoustic, like Unplugged. Dave leaned hard, punk metal. I want to rock, Dave told Chris. They argued in studios, on tour. Kurt skipped rehearsals. Dave fumed. The band was a family, but families fracture. Public success clashed with inner turmoil. Fans saw Kurt as grunge's savior, his flannel uniform. Rolling Stone called him the poet of pain. But he felt trapped. I'm not what they think, he told Courtney. Media hounded him. Courtney's drug rumors, Frances' custody battles. He was shy, hated fame's glare. I feel like people want me to die, he wrote. His stomach burned, his mind darker. Huntington's fears lingered, his mom's tremors, his own shakes. He painted, wrote poetry, but music was his truth. In 1994, Kurt tried to shift. He talked solo work, acoustic albums, maybe covers. I want to be Neil Young, not Axl Rose, he told a friend. He jammed with Eric Erlandson from Hole, sketched new songs, quiet, raw. You Know You're Right was recorded, unreleased, a glimpse of his future, but his body was failing. Heroin overdoses landed him in hospitals. I'm scared I'll lose him, Courtney told friends. Dave started writing his own songs, sensing Nirvana's end. I knew we couldn't last, he said later. Kurt was drifting, lost in pain. The end came fast. In April 1994, Kurt was found in his Seattle home, gone at 27. His death was ruled a suicide, a quiet exit after a loud life. The news shook the world. Fans gathered, vigils burned. He was our voice and it's gone, a Seattle kid told reporters. MTV looped Unplugged. Radio played All Apologies on repeat. Courtney read his note to fans, voice breaking. I don't have the passion anymore. Nirvana ended, grunge staggered. Dave and Chris were wrecked. Fans lost. Seattle mourned its son. Kurt's impact was seismic. Nevermind changed music. Pop died, grunge ruled. It gave voice to the lost, the angry, the real. He made it okay to feel broken, Billy Joe Armstrong said. Record sales soared. Nirvana hit 75 million worldwide. In utero, Unplugged became classics. Kurt's death sparked mental health talks, raw and urgent. If I'd known, I'd have held him closer, Dave said. The tragedy woke up a generation. His legacy endures. In 2025, Nirvana's streams hit 25 million monthly on Spotify. Teen Spirit is a TikTok anthem. Kurt's Converse a fashion staple. Foo Fighters, born from Dave's grief, carry his torch. Bands like Green Day, Radiohead, Paramore owe him. Kurt showed us how to be real, Haley Williams said. His journals, Montage of Heck, keep his story alive. The Rock Hall inducted Nirvana in 2014, first ballot. His net worth, modest in life, grew to millions, royalties, merch, tributes. Reflect on Kurt, a kid from Aberdeen who screamed for the broken. He wasn't perfect, addicted, fragile, lost. But his songs were truth, his heart open. I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not, he wrote. His music lives in every riff, every kid who feels too much. Kurt's gone, but his voice, it's still screaming, still healing, still free. Thanks for hanging out with the Echo Lab. Whether you're listening on your favorite podcast app or watching on YouTube, we appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow, subscribe, and drop a review or comment to let us know what you think. Got a band, topic, or a deep cut you want featured? Shoot us a message. Until next time, this is the Echo Lab, where we dive into the story behind the sound.